Oh, I agree. And then step two is basically the introductory meeting. So again, you've done the research, you've set up the meeting. Now this is the introductory meeting where they meet you for the first time. And one of the things you want to do, obviously, when you go in the meeting, we all know the sales basics. We don't want to go in there and just show up and throw up and give them a lot of information. But we do want to be able to go in there and demonstrate understanding, not about our products, but about their market, their competition, and what they're going through. The more we can sympathize, if not empathize, with what they're going through, I think the better we'll be able to kind of, adjust our presentation in the next phase to kind of target in on what it is that's important to them. Because if you study the annual reports or any information you have from them, you'll begin to get an idea of what their KPIs are. Now that's an interesting acronym. KPI is basically a key performance indicator. These are basically indicators that they use to measure themselves against. And our job with our technology, if that's what we're selling to them, is to find ways to impact those KPIs, those levers of influence that will help their KPIs or improve their KPIs, because that's what they're measured against. And this is important. And so when we look forward to doing the presentation, before we do that, we need to make sure that we tie our product, our understanding of their business with our products, and then tie them to the three key essential things I always mention, which is show them how your product can help them increase their revenue, reduce the cost, or expand their market share. Again, that's the trifecta right there. How can you help them increase revenue, reduce their market share, or expand their market share, or reduce their cost? And if you can do that, effectively, then you're ready to do a presentation. But again, I think it's first important during the introductory meeting just to get an understanding of what they're going through, give them confirmation that you know what's going on, you understand their business, and you do have that business acumen that can probably give them a different angle or a different view of perspective of what's happening in the market. And so the objective of the introductory meeting is to get really an assessment. Is this a client that's worth pursuing? Is it a go or no go? If it's worth pursuing, great, let's move to the next phase, which is now let's go into the actual presentation and show them our solutions. But if it's a no-go, well, that's also important, because if the customer doesn't fit, and I think sometimes we're afraid to admit this, but if the customer doesn't fit, they just simply don't fit. Maybe they're not ready to buy, maybe they just have recently purchased something and you know that the buy cycle is going to be very long before they buy again. So maybe it's a no-go, put it back in the pipeline, we'll revisit in 6 months. So let's call that a no-go. So if it's a no-go, it's great, because it'll help us shorten our sales cycle and move on to somebody else who is in a better position to buy. But if it's a go, then now's the chance, once we do the introductory meeting, once we have a great understanding or a better understanding of what they want to accomplish, then we can now go into the third phase of the sales process, which is the presentation.